what's up guys? Welcome to Quarantine with SB. Today we're doing the trick shot challenge. I'm gonna throw this dodgeball up there. It's gonna hit the wall, go down the slide, and land in that basket right there. You're welcome. All right, so now I'm gonna do that same shot, but blindfolded. Unfortunately, we don't have a blindfold, so I'm just gonna use my headband. I apologize for my hair in advance. Can't see, but oh, no. All right, what's up guys? We are now moving into some hardcore, intense, competitive Pictionary.
Yes.
We want you guys at home to play as well. So if you know what we're drawing, guess it, put it in the chat before the guesser guesses what it is, and you will get a prize. Probably some sick memes on Instagram from me.
He's great at picking out memes. It's a good prize.
I agree thoroughly. So let's get right into it.
Game on.
All right, get ready at home. Alex, get ready.
Okay, I'm competing against you guys.
This is gonna be intense.
All right, drop it in the comments before I figure it out.
All right.
It might take me a while. Stone is terrible
I'm
at
not
art.
very good at drawing, especially in this format, but let's go.
All right, whiteboard.
Okay.
Okay, stick figure with spiky hair.
Not quite.
What, are his arms coming out of his head?
Well, I'll
What is that? What's going on there? Arms don't come out of your chin. Oh, Bob Ross. That's clearly Bob Ross.
I wish it was Bob Ross. That would be much better. All right, so let's see here.
What else do I know with an afro? Dante?
Oh yes, it is Dante.
Is it Dante?
Yes, I was gonna draw a guitar, but I didn't get that far.
Okay.
Yes, it is Dante.
I mean, I just said it, and there it was, man. You just gotta. That's the key to charades and Pictionary. Just talk it out loud. You might sound crazy,
It's
but
true.
eventually you'll get it. All right, you ready for this? You're not gonna get this one, man. All right, I'm just gonna tell you that right now. The crowd will definitely get this one before you. Okay, here we go. Ready, go. Got this little guy right here, and he's like, ooh. Sometimes I talk when I draw. Okay, and
Is that supposed to be his nose?
Okay, that's a, you know, you can tell what that
Is
is.
he like a monkey or something?
Oh, yes, yes. Okay.
Dora.
No. Look at this. You're definitely going to get it here.
Monkey. Oh, Aladdin.
Aladdin!
It's,
Look at that lamp.
What's his name? Babu or something?
Yeah, Babu? Is that it? Abu.
Abu, yes.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Close enough.
Look at that lamp. That's a pretty good lamp. All right.
That's pretty solid.
You got that a lot quicker than I got yours. I'll give you that.
Huh. Would you look at that?
It's about the artist, all right?
I mean,
The better the artist, the easier it is to get.
some people might say that. Other people might say other things.
All right. What is it? I mean, round 3
I guess.
or round 2? I don't know.
All right. So this one, see, I'm not good at coming up with things to draw, but this one is pretty popular with the youngins.
The youngins, of course. Snowman.
Not just any snowman.
Oh,
Oh wait, actually, I guess that's not how he looks. I think it's more of like a
yeah.
one thing, and then like his head is like that.
Yeah, this is definitely Frozen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's a terrible Olaf. Wow. That was
Close enough. Close enough.
maybe the worst Olaf I've ever seen. All right. Let me think here. Oh, yeah, okay. All right, I got one for you. You ready for this? All right. Got this going on. Ba-da-ba. And then we got
stars.
Yep, and then we got oh, I know what I'll do. Yeah.
Is that a tank?
Oh, it's a tank.
Star tank.
You know what it is.
I don't.
That's ridiculous. Star Tank.
Star Wars.
Thank you. Star Wars. Look at that. Best artist here, hands down. Look at that tank. That's high quality. All right.
That's pretty solid.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Huh. Well,
Do we got time for another round or what? What are we doing here?
Are we going another round?
I don't know. Well, whatever you think. You're the boss.
I think. Oh, I'm not in charge of anything. I think we might need to move on to our next special moment of the day.
You're embarrassed because I'm so much better at drawing.
Yeah, I just don't want to have to draw something else because I don't want to get made fun of.
Yes. Well, this has been fun.
It's been fun.
Dante here. My trick shot for the trick shot challenge is going to be the ultimate slide slam dunk. All right, let's go. Whew. Oh no!
Get back in there! Just kidding. All right, Dante's going to go ahead and recover, and then we're going to transition into our time of worship, so let's get prepared for that.
Hey guys, my name is Dante, and I want to welcome you into an environment of worship today. We're going to sing the song Another in the Fire by Hillsong. It's such a good song just to recognize where God is in our life. And as we worship, I want you to place Him in that spot to be right next to you, no matter what you go through. Let's sing this together. Here we go. There's a grace when the heart is under fire. Another day when the walls are closing in. But when I look at the space between what remains of me and this reckoning, and I know I will never be alone. There was another in the fire standing next to me. There was another in the water holding back the sea. Should I ever need reminding of how I've been set free, there is a cross that bears the burden where another died for me. There is another in the fire. There is another in the fire. All my debt and all my debt left for dead beneath the waters. And I'm no longer a slave to my sin anymore. And should I fall in the space between what remains of me in this reckoning, either way I won't bow to the things of this world. And I know I will never be alone. There is another in the fire standing next to me. There is another in the water holding back the sea. Should I ever need reminding what power set me free, there is a cross that bears the burden where another died for me. There is another in the fire. Whoa, 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 I can see, and I can see the light in the darkness as the darkness bows to Him, and I can hear the roar in the heavens as the space between waves then, and I can feel the ground shake beneath us as the prison walls cave in. Nothing stands between us. Nothing stands between us. Yeah, nothing stands between us. We wanted to do something a little different today. Wherever you're standing, I just wanted to invite you into a time of prayer. As we go into this next verse, these moments beforehand, just to pray to God. Just talk to your Savior, talk to your Father. You can put your hands out if you want to. If you want to fall on your knees, if you want to just sit wherever you are, just to recognize who He is. So in these next couple moments, before we go into this verse, let's just pray to God and encounter Him. there's no other name but the name that is Jesus. He who was and still is and will be through it all. So come what may in the space between what remains unseen in this reckoning. And I know I will never be alone. Let's sing this out. And I know I will never be alone. There is another in the fire standing next to me. There is another in the water holding back the seas. Should I ever need reminded what power set me free, I'll count the joy come every battle, 'cause I know that's where you'll be. I count the joy come every battle, 'cause I know that's where you'll be. I count the joy come every battle, 'cause I know that's where you'll be. I count the joy come every battle, 'cause I know that's where you'll be. Lord, thank you for being in the fire with us. Lord, the pressure of the water, no matter how much it is, Lord, you're still holding it back. Thank you for being in our corner, God. Help us to fight with everything we have for you. You're so good to us. Thank you. In your Son's holy name, amen.
Everybody, we're so glad you're here today. We're so excited. We have Stone, and we've got Alex, and so you can give it up for them. You can clap at home. It's all good. But here's the thing. Tonight, we start a new series called I'll Be Happy If. You guys gave us so many things. So next week, Alex is preaching on confidence. I'd be happy if I had confidence, if I had abilities and gifts and those kinds of things. Alex is next week. The week after Alex is Stone, and Stone's going to talk about I would be happy if I didn't worry. And so the next week I'll preach on something that you guys will select, but you guys submitted so many things that we were like, man, how do we answer all these things? And so we thought we would just do rapid fire. Stone's going to pull it out of a bag, literally out of a bag, give us 3 minutes per topic. We're just going to go as fast as we can, and we're going to get all this done in 18 minutes. So Stone, pull it out. Let's see what you got.
Here we go.
Let's see. Purpose.
All right.
I'd be happy if I had purpose.
So several of you guys put it out there. I'd be happy if I had purpose. 3 minutes. Whoever wants to start. Ready, set, go.
I'll start. I would say, I think to understand purpose, you have to realize that you were created by God, and that is something that you could talk about for forever and get into pretty deep. But I think purpose starts there in realizing that if God made you, He made you for a reason. He wouldn't make you if you weren't here for a purpose. So you may not know what your purpose is. You might have a hard time understanding that you have purpose. But I think the root of knowing that God made you and therefore you're here for a reason, even if you may not know what that reason is yet, that's something to keep in mind.
Yeah, definitely.
It looks like you were wanting to jump on that one.
I don't know. Yeah, I was thinking, for me, like I remember, going one way in my life without really, God's purpose in my mind. And then when I finally figured it out and it clicked for me, it just became so obvious that I just knew, this is the only purpose worth living for right here. Everything else was secondary. But man, in God's kingdom and living for His purpose and what we're called to, that's just so much more important than anything else we can invest our time in. So that I don't know. Yeah, I think when it clicks for you, it just becomes so obvious. What do you think, man?
So Ephesians 2:10 is one of the verses that comes to my mind. It says that for we are all God's workmanship,
Yeah.
created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do. So some of the verses, some of the different versions out there would say God's masterpiece. So we are God's masterpiece. And so I'm stealing this illustration. And so I saw someone recently say like every masterpiece that your child ever made, as ugly as it is or as beautiful as it is, they would always put it on the fridge. But how terrible would it be like when your friends came over, if you took that down off the fridge because it wasn't good enough to be seen by other people? Your kids would be destroyed. When God sees you, he doesn't see you as something he puts up and he puts down. Yeah. God goes before you. He's crafted you. We say often that he made you on purpose, for a purpose. We think that you matter because God created you, no matter if you know him yet or not. And so if you wish you had purpose, my thought is you do have a purpose. You may not know what it is. And you can DM us on Instagram. We'd love to have that conversation. But my thought is you may not know what you're created for if you're not hanging out with the Creator. And so that's what we got for this one.
Yeah.
Stone.
There you go. Number 2.
Oh boy.
Better be good.
Family.
Family. So we asked for grace and context. There's a lot of different areas that this was thrown as, and we don't really know what you're asking. And so if you feel like we're dodging the question, we may not have understood it. And so we're going to try as best as we can. But what do you guys think? Like, I'd be happy if ... my family was happier, my family was together, there wasn't divorce, there wasn't issues. What do you guys think?
Yeah. I mean, when I hear that, I think back to when I was in high school, and I just kind of had this idea of, man, the next thing is going to make me happy. And so I always kind of had this list of like, okay, when I go to college and I'm playing college sports, then I'm going to be happy. And then I'd get there and I'd be like, oh, I'm not quite as happy as I thought I'd be. So, well, when I get a girlfriend, then I'll be happy. And I kept thinking, that was one of my constant things. Oh, when I get a girlfriend, when I have kids someday, when I'm done with college, So I think people can put kind of like that idea of family kind of on a pedestal and make it an idol, like something like, if I get that, then I'll be happy.
Yeah.
And I think for me, it's just all about learning. When I quit obsessing in my life over trying to, find a wife, that's actually when I found a wife. Like when I finally when I finally just became content in the moment I was living in and just saying, hey, God's given me everything I need right here, right now. I'm just going to live my best life every day. Yeah. That's what changed everything for me.
Yeah. So, Stone, you can talk to us about marriage too, man.
Yeah, no, I can't. I cannot.
That special lady.
Soon, she's coming. So.
She's out there.
Maybe one day.
She might be watching right now.
Perhaps. You never know. You never know. But I guess I would take more of a like a parent and sibling route for family. Just, I mean, obviously, some people are more fortunate than others, and some people are born into a family that maybe they have a hard time connecting with, or they just don't necessarily feel like their family is a good fit for them, which is not. I don't want to say it's normal, but it's not necessarily uncommon, and I think it's important to realize that. I mean, it's okay to not always get along with your family. It's okay to not have a perfect family. What you see and what you hear from your friends and their perfect families. I mean, there is no perfect family. That doesn't exist. So just recognizing that the problems within your family, whatever you may be dealing with, whatever you're going through. I mean, it's not the end of the world. They always say the quote or whatever, friends are the family you choose.
I've heard that one.
Yeah. So even if you don't get along great with your family, or you have whatever problems with your family you may have, you can always just surround yourself with other people and make them your family.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. I think, again, we don't really know where this comes from. My parents are divorced, and so we talk about that sometimes. And so if you're out there and you're like, man, I'd be happy if my parents were just married, that's just an illusion. Like, what you're saying is that I wish I had stability maybe, or I wish certain things didn't happen. And so for me, when I hear like, I'd be happy if my family was together, I would have loved for my family to be together when I was growing up, and they weren't. But that doesn't mean you have to live a lifestyle like one of your parents. You don't have to live a lifestyle of seeking love and seeking purpose. I think early on in middle school and high school, our identity is kind of in our family. And so if we feel like we have a broken family, we feel like broken identities, But here's the thing, there's no perfect family. Jesus' parents were not married, y'all. When he was born, we see like Abraham, like the big guy of faith, lied twice about his wife being his sister. Like there's no biblical family can you look at and be like, oh, that's the family I want to be like. We just talked about David, and his dad was like, one of these boys is going to be the king. Obviously not you. You go work in the field. And it wasn't even there when the king was chosen. And so the illusion of a perfect family isn't real. But if you're saying, like, my family's not safe, DM us. We want to talk about it. But if you feel like, man, my family's just so chaotic, what do I do? Man, follow Jesus. He brings peace. Find some folks. Get connected with your small group. But your family doesn't define you. But if your family doesn't know Jesus, how awesome is it that you're in that family and you can tell them about Jesus? All right, what about the next one?
All right.
And you chose all these. There are some funny ones in here and some awkward ones. So, we'll see.
Accomplishments.
Man, there's a lot of different things that you guys said. Like if we got the high school degree, if I passed school, good job. If I got a job, if I got the girlfriend. And I'm not sure like who we're trying to please in these accomplishments, but there is all over the board. And yeah, so 3 minutes, Alex, I'm going to ask you to start this one off though.
Man, I think, for me, like, there's always something, I like to set goals, I like to try and accomplish things, but you have to do it in the right context. I mean, are you doing it for your own glory, or are you doing it for God's glory? Are you doing it for the benefit of yourself, or are you doing it for the benefit of others? I think when you're trying to accomplish things to serve the world, to make the world a better place, I think that's a good place to be in. And I think that's where God wants us to be, because whatever you do in life, whatever your job is or your career, whatever you end up doing, if you're doing your very best for the kingdom of God, I think that's the most important thing, because you can be a carpenter, you can be a plumber, you can work in a church. Whatever you do it to your very best, do it to bring glory to God. And I think that is, there is something powerful about accomplishing things, not for yourself, but for God's kingdom, His purposes.
Yeah, I feel that. What about you?
Yeah, I'd say a lot of times we base our accomplishments off of other people's accomplishments.
Yeah.
And that's something that you just can't do. And I think we'll get into that a little more later about comparing yourself to other people. But your accomplishments should be your own, and like Alex said, it should be for the betterment of whatever. You shouldn't do it just for yourself or just for whatever. Your accomplishments should be good, legitimate goals. I remember in high school we had to set SMART goals. Those were ridiculous.
What's SMART goals? What does that mean?
SMART was an acronym for like something. I don't even remember. It was some specific kind of goal, and they had to be academic.
Measurable.
Yeah, measurable, attainable.
Attainable.
Replicable.
But yeah, and then another thing, a lot of people, especially in this age group, think that they're too young to like accomplish things. Feel like you're too young, you're not experienced enough to have these great accomplishments. Even though you may have ideas, things you want to do, you think just because you're young, you're not able to get to those accomplishments. But in 2 Timothy 4, I think, 4:12, I believe, Paul is telling Timothy, a young church leader, that just because he's young doesn't mean that he cannot be a great leader of this church. Just because he's young doesn't mean that he's not able to accomplish these things. And for me, that's one of my huge passions, is empowering young people to follow their dreams and chase their accomplishments. So I think that's huge, is to just remember, even though you're young, you're still able to go after those things.
Right. I think there's a motivation too, like why do you want to accomplish things? Why would you be happy if you accomplished something? Like you'd be happy if you climbed Mount Rushmore or like Mount Everest, or if you did something. You're always going to want to do that next thing, the next thing. And so my question would go back to you. Like if we were sitting down having coffee and you were like, man, if I would accomplish more, I'd be happier. I would probably ask the question of, when is it enough? Or ask a question of like, so you accomplished something, why do you need to accomplish something? Because Jesus, when he died for you, we are now enough, and he works within us. But if you have that drive to succeed, that's awesome. I've got a drive to succeed. I've got a drive to win. my daughter now, every time we go anywhere, she wants to win. She's like, I win. She like runs ahead of us because like competitive family. And so we don't know the exact reason of the question. It's said in so many different ways, but I would just speak into it of like, if you feel like you need to accomplish something to have purpose, you have purpose just because of who you are. You accomplish things, that's cool, but that's not needed. What's the next one?
Perfect.
Perfect. And for all you cat fans out there, this is for you. Perfect. And so, yeah, this question came in a couple different ways of like, if my life was perfect, if things never changed, is really where a lot of it came from.
Yeah.
If my senior year could have been my senior year.
Yeah.
If my parents could have come and actually visited, if I could have gone on that vacation, we were saving up all this money to do this thing. If life had never changed, if COVID didn't happen. So if life was perfect or normal, you know, that's kind of what they're saying. So what do you guys think?
Stone, you want to go first?
Yeah,
Hit it up,
so,
man.
I mean, for me, talking about change and things changing and not being perfect, my college actually is closing down and is no longer going to exist. So that's a massive change for me. And just lots of thoughts like, man, I wish I would be able to have this full college experience. I wish I was able to like have the same group of friends, be able to stay on the soccer team or whatever. But I mean, change, your circumstances can change, but God doesn't. That is a massive reminder for me and is encouraging to me to just remember, even though these things around me are changing, all of these things, whether they're positive or negative, so much change happens throughout your entire life, and the most comforting thing for me to know is that God does not change. Yeah. So when things happen, things are not perfect, things aren't how you envision them, I think it's important to just take a step back and think, how can I move forward in this situation? How can I turn this into a positive? How can I use the situation that is happening right now and use that for good?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a big deal. Like, you miss in your senior year of high school. Like, that's terrible. Like, I cannot understand that. Alex can't understand it. But if you hear Stone, like, his college didn't close for COVID. It, like, shut down. And so if you are, like, struggling with change and you're like, man, I wish I could just talk to someone, then hit Stone up. Like, he would love to chat with you. If you're a student, you're like, how do I respond with, like, faith in Jesus? Hit him up. He would love to talk to you about it. But what about you? Like, COVID, school shutting down, like, that affects you in so many different ways.
Oh, yeah. Like, perfect just doesn't exist. You have to get that out of your mind right now. I've made so many plans in my life of what I thought my life would look like. And every one of them, it's just been thrown out the window because God had something different in mind. And then later on, I was mad in the moment, but later on, I was able to look back and say, man, this was better. Like, this was a better way. I think one of the best things you can learn in your life is to become adaptable. We are in this constant changing culture, especially with technology. I mean, you have to be ready to adapt with anything and everything that's thrown at you in this world. Those that adapt, they're the ones that are, handling what's going on right now the best. They're saying, hey, I'm going to make the best of it. It's all about, I really think it comes down to attitude and faith. Because when you put your faith in God, your faith can't grow if it's not being challenged. And so, perfect just doesn't exist. And I really think that God grows us in these seasons of imperfection, when things aren't going the way we want, and we lean more onto, into His presence. Yeah.
No, I definitely agree with that. I think, like, Stone hit on a verse of Hebrews 13, verse 8, and it says, Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And so Jesus is the same. But I know for like me and our family, when COVID happened, my sister's wedding got pushed back to August. And now we're sitting here, she's in Illinois, so we're like fingers crossed, because the rumor is Illinois is not going back until November.
Jeez.
Yeah, dude, I'm glad I live in Nebraska. So we don't even know. Like, we don't know in our family. I know, like, there's teachers who aren't in school. I know there's kids who aren't in school. I know there's people who have either had pay decreases or pay cuts or have lost their job altogether. We have several friends who we're trying to help find new jobs because they don't have a job right now. And so when we talk about change, we're not being flippant. It's just, if you want the short version, Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And maybe you don't have faith in Jesus, and so when the changes come, it seems like a lot. We'd love to talk to you. But man, if you're a student and you're following Jesus, you're like, man, this change is incredibly difficult, then just lean on him and what that would look like. And so, man, if life was perfect, that's never happening. Balance, I'm convinced that balance is impossible. I think it's just like you get your tribe of people together, you try to survive 1 week at a time, in or out of COVID, it doesn't matter. But my hope for you would be that you would know that Jesus is the same yesterday, today, tomorrow, or forevermore.
All right, guys, so just to wrap up this week of Quarantine with SB, we're going to take a look at the top 2 best trick shots that you guys submitted over the week. So let's take a look. First up, second place, we have the Vidlax. Let's see. Oh, she just dumped the trash right down on him. Pretty solid, but not top tier quality. It was pretty smooth though, I can't lie. That was pretty solid. But first place, we have a special surprise for first place. Let's see it. Oh! Woo! Congratulations! Woo! Cohen, you win. That was so cool. He's a golf legend. It's so smooth. And he's so happy afterwards. Cohen, today's your lucky day because you won. Congratulations. I might send you some memes or something. I don't know. So that's all we have for this week on Quarantine with SB. Make sure to tune in this Friday at 9 p.m. We're going to be playing bingo again. Winner gets a free meal. So be sure to check that out. And we'll see you guys there. Peace out.
Hey guys, before we cut out today, we want to remind you of a couple things. Next week, Alex is preaching on I'll be happy if I have confidence. And so if you need confidence or someone you know needs confidence, kind of like the Wizard of Oz, right? Like we all need something. You know someone who needs courage, they need confidence, have them come on. The week after, Stone's talking about I would be happy if I didn't worry. So if you're a worrier, your friend's a worrier, man, bring them. And so it'll just be really exciting. But before we leave today, we had some stuff we wanted to throw in, but we're like, where does this fit? And so we thought, you know what? Blooper reel. And so a lot of you guys submitted a really big question. We don't know if it's serious, but we answered it. Check it out.
Food.
Is that the one?
Yes.
Is that what you're hoping for?
Yeah, I am shocked how many of you guys put food. Like, I'm not kidding. Probably at least 30 people put food. And I don't know
I'll be happy if food.
Yeah, just legit put food. And I don't know if this is like you guys band together to do this. I don't know, like if you don't know where your next meal's coming from, if that is the truth, I'm sorry, but food. So what makes you hangry? What are you guys doing for food? Help these guys with some kind of a hack. I'd be happy if food. Over 30 of you did this. I don't know if this is a joke. I really don't know. But all right, food. Ready, set, go.
So Skylar can attest to this. I love Taco Bell.
Too much. Too much.
More than most things.
Way too much.
It's
like Jesus and Taco Bell just is like skimming the bottom.
It's not even real meat, man.
I have a genuine.
I heard it's horse meat.
I don't care. It tastes good. That's what matters. I don't have a connection with horses. But here's the thing.
That's awesome.
Every Tuesday at Taco Bell, you can get a free Dorito taco. Every Tuesday. So that solves your problem on Tuesdays. I don't know about the rest of the days.
We are not sponsored by Taco Bell.
I wish we were, though. Dang, that'd be great.
Yeah, so after most Wednesday nights, Stone and there's some guys who help tear down at the Omaha campus. It takes 5 ever. It's just the worst part of my week is cleaning up after Wednesdays. And then we always look around and say, what do we want to do for food? And Stone's like, I'm not going to spend money tonight, but we go to Taco Bell. And we go to Taco Bell. He's the only one to get food. And then he looks around and goes, guys, I don't want to eat Taco Bell alone. Please. And then we wind up eating with him. Then I hate myself because Taco Bell is trash. Alex, what about you, man? I'd be happy if over 30 people food.
Man, for food, it's always Chipotle. I I bet if you averaged out like the last 10 years, I bet it averages out to I've eaten there once a week, every week for 10 years. I mean, there's some weeks it's been 3 or 4 times. Oh yeah, I got a problem, for sure.
We'd love for you to put in the comments if you think Qdoba is better than Chipotle.
Absolutely.
I mean, the queso, obviously, but the quality of Chipotle and the guac, oof, I'll take that. But yeah, Qdoba's got it 1 in queso.
for me, queso is like the special sauce, the only thing that matters. Unpopular opinion, I don't like food. I eat to survive. I don't eat food for pleasure. And so when I saw all these people post, I'd be happy if food, I'm posting, I'd be happy if didn't have to eat food. Because it's a waste of time, it's a waste of my money. I hate it. But yeah, so I don't know what this means. Like if you're out there and you're like, yes, food. I don't know. If you need food, I guess let us know.
It's interesting, yeah.
Like, I don't know. If you find yourself binge eating food constantly, stop. I don't know. I don't know.